Life can change in an instant. One minute you're riding high, feeling invincible. The next you're staring at the shattered pieces of your dreams. I lost my job, my savings dwindled, and hope seemed like a distant memory. The world felt dark and I felt lost in its shadows. It was like I was in a free fall with no end in sight. The ground was rushing towards me and there was nothing I could do to stop it. The worst part was the feeling of helplessness that washed over me. I had always been a go-getter, someone who prided themselves on their ability to overcome any obstacle. But this felt different. This felt insurmountable. Doubts gnawed at my mind. Was I not good enough? Was this all my fault? The weight of my perceived failures pressed down on me. Friends and family reached out, their words meant to comfort, but they only served as a painful reminder of how far I had fallen. I was drowning, and the more I struggled, the further I sank.
Even in the darkest depths of despair, a tiny flicker of hope remained. A voice whispered in the recesses of my mind, urging me not to surrender. It was a faint whisper, easily drowned out by the roaring waves of doubt and fear. But it was there, persistent, refusing to be silenced. "You are stronger than this," it murmured. "You are not defined by your failures."
It was a struggle, a daily battle to hold on to that glimmer of hope. Some days the darkness threatened to engulf me completely, but then I would remember the voice, that persistent whisper urging me to keep fighting. It was a lifeline in a stormy sea, a beacon guiding me through the fog of despair. Slowly, ever so slowly, the voice grew stronger. I was starting to believe in myself again, to believe that I could rise from the ashes of my failures and build something new. The first step out of the abyss was the hardest. It required summoning a reservoir of strength I wasn't sure I possessed, but the whisper in my mind was relentless, urging me to take action no matter how small. Start somewhere, it whispered, anywhere. And so I did. I started applying for jobs, any job that would give me a chance, a purpose. Rejection followed rejection, each one a stinging reminder of my current circumstances. My confidence, already fragile, threatened to crumble completely, but I remembered the voice urging me to persevere. This is just a part of the journey, it soothed.
Then one day a glimmer of hope appeared. A local cafe needed an extra pair of hands. It wasn't much, just a simple barista position, but it was a lifeline. To my surprise, I got the job. I was determined to make the most of this opportunity to prove to myself and to the world that I wasn't finished yet.
The cafe became my sanctuary, a haven from the storm that had been raging within me. The work was challenging at first. I had never worked in a cafe before, and the art of crafting the perfect latte or cappuccino seemed like a mystery, but I was determined to learn.
I watched, listened, and absorbed everything I could from my colleagues. They were a motley crew, each with their own stories to tell.
Working alongside them, I began to see the world through a different lens. These were people who had faced their own challenges, their own setbacks, yet they showed up every day with a smile and a willingness to serve. They taught me the true meaning of resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity, stronger and more determined than before. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled my days with a sense of purpose, and the warmth of human connection melted away the loneliness that had been gnawing at me. As the weeks turned into months, a newfound sense of purpose began to bloom within me. The cafe had provided me with stability, a platform to rebuild my life. But deep down, I knew I yearned for something more, something that would allow me to channel my creativity and passion into something tangible.
One evening, while reading a book on entrepreneurship, a spark ignited within me. The book spoke of turning passions into businesses, of taking risks, of creating something from nothing. That's when the idea struck me. A mobile coffee cart, a beacon of warmth and caffeine, bringing smiles to the faces of busy commuters and weary souls.
The idea took root in my mind, growing stronger with each passing day. I devoured books and articles on starting a business, attended workshops, and sought advice from seasoned entrepreneurs. The more I learned, the more convinced I became that this was my calling.
I spent hours sketching out designs for my coffee cart, researching equipment, experimenting with different coffee beans and brewing methods.
There were moments of doubt, of course, but this time it felt different. This time I was armed with knowledge, experience, and an unwavering belief in my dream.